about when do we use this flow logs in real time. I'm happy to answer that question. Normally, what we do is it's used in audit trials. It is used in, I would say, out of office or out of house authentication issues, unauthorized user as access, unusual levels of activity, system failures, network access issues. There are many things where we use this log activities, especially once again for security breaches as well. So once you start working in this scenario, it's you will realize that okay, you got a system failure, or if a user or is not able to access an application, logs are the first thing any solution architect or an engineer will check to address any issue. So this is where they are normally used.
You basically build a lot of DevSecOps or SRE dashboards on top of these logs. So just for the sake of security, just for the sake of better visibility, management for overall cloud resources, because that's something which it's not very important from the underlying team point of view. Even it is also very important from the top level bosses like the CIO point of view, who want to see what's going on in his system. So he want to just have a single dashboard checking all the health of the system. So these are one, like flow logs is one of the underlying component which is very much used in the security paradigm.
It's also used for compliance and governance. So when you work in public sector, this is the first thing they will ask you to understand. There's a difference between the compliance and governance. People often get this mixed up. While governance is something like company's attitude towards the business practices and the risk it takes, while compliance actually ensures the attitude within the bounds of law. So when you especially work in the public sector, these are the definite, like even now the corporate as well, they're all coming under the compliance and governance. So these logs are definitely used there as well. Just another real-time example.
But flow logs normally are related to what's your, like when you do anything in any of the system, whether it's VPC or IAM or anything else. So this is something to capture those activities. System logs are more like, these are generic logs. If let's say you have got a container, and in the container you have got an application running, and the application is responding to something, doing something. So you are capturing those kind of things. And let's say you want to capture your CPUs, IO, insensitive information, or any kind of network bound information, which is underlying more related to the functioning of the system. They comes under the category of system.
And CloudWatch has got a whole range of things, metrics, alarms, logs, events, and so on. Whereas Flow Log is much more restricted to the network traffic specifically. And again, it doesn't provide too much information. It's just the metadata. If we want to have a more detail, then we have to probably look at a third-party tool, something like a Splunk, and other type of much detailed analysis tool where that can capture more information and provide you much better insights. Say, for example, if we want to have this type of visualization and information and analysis, probably you're looking at to use something like a Sumo Logic or Splunk.
Yeah, or Elastic Search is another.
Yeah. So there are other things within Amazon Kinesis,
exactly.
Elasticsearch, you can do analysis. But again, these are specialized tools, and that's the single purpose. Whereas Elasticsearch is like a flexible tool, you can do it for whole services. So again, a lot of work need to be done to fine-tune it to you the way you want. Whereas a third party like Sumo Logic, that's a specialized tool specifically focusing on this, where your ramp-up time or implementation time would be much lesser, and probably you get to see much refined metrics that are more relevant to you.
But have you guys used like Kiali kind of flow traffic and hooked it inside the flow logs? So it's like more HTTP based request response routing, which it supports. And it also gives you the statistics about the load balancer, the global one which is like the primary entry point for your cloud, let's say AWS in this case.
So I think from that sense, VPC Flow Log is not going to be of much help. So it can give you some information on protocol-based traffic, but that's about it. For load balancer traffic monitoring and other type of, you have to hook up the CloudWatch on the load balancer to capture more details from there.
Right.
Flow Log is not going to be of much help for that.
Makes sense. And one more question. Sorry, I'm asking too many things.
Sure.
If let's say you have got a setup of public and private and maybe some shared private VPC, so can we just maybe set up it all at a global level at one place, or we will have to set up it for all the individual VPCs and then we'll be able to capture the network logs?
You mean particular to Flow Logs, you mean?
Exactly.
Okay. Again, so, but depending on the architecture, the higher you're going to enable, the more information you're going to get. And given, I'll show you the dashboard. So once we do this lab, probably you'll get to see the crude interface you're going to see on the Flow Logs that pretty much discourages you to use them, to be honest, because it does not give you much options. Let me see if there are any traffic information.
Prakash, just want to cover one thing in here. When someone was asking about this CloudWatch is not just a monitoring tool. It is also actually used as a management service within AWS. Like, it can act as like auto scaling if it is required. It can automate response to some of the events as well. It can alarm and automate the actions on the Elastic Kubernetes service, container service, and the K8 clusters. Plus on top, it is very heavily used for compliance and security.
Correct. So capture, monitor, and respond. So as I mentioned before, the logs, alarms, events, all those things will help you to, as I mentioned, capture, monitor, and take action accordingly.